It's Time Warner Cable's local edition. My name is Brad Pomerance. Thank you for joining us. Our guest today, Bernard Parks, member of the Los Angeles City Council, and recently a motion passed 13-1. You were the one.
That's right.
And what that motion did is it all but banned plastic bags in Los Angeles, making it the largest city in the nation to pass a plastic bag ban. Why were you the one?
Well, I looked at it, I actually read it. And
how novel.
And what I was concerned about is that when you create public policy, I think you should be very cognizant of how it impacts you and what are the negatives down the road.
The unintended consequences.
Unintended consequences. And just as we bought into plastic in replacement of paper years ago, and then we found plastics in the trash stream, there's no consideration of what are you going to do with the replacement reusable bags, which most of them are not recyclable. Many of them are made by processes that require oil, and then they also are very easily contaminated.
And that's what I want to talk to you about, because that to me is a very novel concept. It's one that I didn't think of, and apparently there are studies that have come out of the University of Arizona, Loma Linda University, that talk about the health risks of these reusable bags. Explain.
Well, basically what you find is that there've been discussions all along about keeping raw food and the impact. We know what happens if you just cut chicken with a knife. They say don't use it in another product. So here you're going to bring food and vegetables. You also go to the CDC in Atlanta. They specifically say for food care you don't commingle food. So now you're going to have raw meat, raw fish, vegetables, also fruit. You're going to bring them together. They're going to go into a bag.
And those liquids can leak.
They leak, and then in the study, they reflected that within a 2-hour period in a warm car, bacteria begins to develop. Now, we have for years been concerned about the food stream, that you keep it as clean as possible. Now we're going to inject these bags that are toxic back into the food stream so that you and I can come to that service counter and buy our food right after a contaminated bag
But is
leaves.
the answer educating our consumers about the need to wash your reusable bags?
Well, I think if we went that line, we'd also say the real issue was educating the public about what to do with reusable plastic bags, because a very small number of them was outside of the waste stream.
When they get outside the waste stream, I mean, they get into the oceans. We've seen those horrific pictures.
Yes,
and maybe it's a bit dogmatic, and maybe it's hyperbolic, but still, it can be very rough.
But just think about this scenario: we stopped using paper to save trees. We started using plastic, and now we stopped because it's killing fish. Now we're going to use multiple use bags to kill people.
Well, that's a very well stated. You can turn a phrase very well.
Yeah.
But I guess, look, in the final analysis, it's all a balance.
That's true.
And when you balance plastics made from oil into the oceans versus reusable bags that can be washed, and I'm asking a question, I'm not advocating, wouldn't washable, reusable bags be more preferable than these oil-based plastics?
Well, I think, first of all, it's a misnomer that the bags that are being used are not oil-based, and all of them are recyclable. They're made by a process that uses natural gas.
Some, for sure.
And so the issue is they even have a law that says you have to have a recycle bin in every store so people can bring them.
They do.
And just ask your neighbors and just look at your own family life. What do you do with those plastic bags?
I do reuse them.
You fill them up with trash and you put them in the containers. Now they're going to ask you to line your trash can with the more densely constructed bags that you now have to have trash can liners.
All I can say is you got us thinking, and I thank you for that.
My
His
pleasure.
name is Bernard Parks, member of the Los Angeles City Council. My name is Brad Pomerance. Thank you so much for watching Time Warner Cable's local edition.